Breaking news, Donald Trump is melting down because VP Harris just went for the jugular and released the most brutal press release of this campaign. It's hilarious, it's scathing, and I want to break it all down. I also want to give props to VP Harris's digital team and her communications team because they've been doing a great job of reaching demographics that otherwise felt alienated, like young people, like people who just wanted to see Donald Trump get slapped in the face but thought that Joe Biden was too old. Well, VP Harris's campaign is absolutely delivering. Leave a like on this video if you appreciate the work I do. So this press release reads, Harris for president for immediate release. Statement on a 78-year-old criminal's Fox News appearance. After watching Fox News this morning, we only have one question. Is Donald Trump okay? Main takeaways gave to the American people. And I'll break this all down, but first I want to lay the groundwork and give you guys the context of this. This is the Fox News segment from this morning that VP Harris is referring to, where Donald Trump calls in, he lies, he goes on an unhinged rant, and not once do the people at Fox News fact check him. I won't play the entire clip. I'll save you guys that, but here.
And I'll say this. We had two elections. The first election, we did great. The second election, we did much better than the first election. But this election has more spirit than I've ever seen ever before. And that's because they've seen how bad these people are at government.
And next up Saturday in Minnesota. And next up Saturday in Minnesota.
Remember this, they're destroying our country.
He just keeps on going. They keep trying to cut him off. He just keeps on going. Here's a clip showing how much Donald Trump regrets choosing JD Vance. Just take a look at these numbers.
Let's specifically look at some former Republican presidential candidates. What do you see?
Yeah, you mentioned Sarah Palin. How about Dan Quayle as well? These are two folks who I think most people remember as not being particularly popular. The amazing thing was, coming out of their conventions, they actually were pretty popular. Quayle with a plus 15-point net favorability rating. Sarah Palin with a plus 26-point net favorability rating. Again, Vance at minus 5 points is just off the charts and falling off the chart in the wrong direction. Not up above the chart, but down below the chart. The fact is, he is historically unpopular.
Historically unpopular. I mean, Sarah Palin was even up 26 points, but Obama was just such a powerhouse of charisma. His campaign was so great. But Donald Trump's JD Vance is negative 5 points. That brings us back to the press release from VP Harris. After watching Fox News this morning, we only have one question. Is Donald Trump okay? Main takeaways Trump gave to the American people. Trump praised his Project 2025. Trump is flustered and lashing out. When Trump wasn't lying, he was making threats. Abortion bans are good. Mail-in voting is bad. He praised dictators because he wants to be one. Trump is clearly worried he made the wrong pick in JD Vance, as we just saw a second ago. Trump is old and quite weird, ? This guy shouldn't be president ever again. If anyone wants an alternative, Kamala Harris is offering one, and that is the perfect messaging. She is building a broad tent of center-left people, far-left people, center-right people, moderate people who are pro-democracy and understand that Donald Trump poses a threat to our fundamental way of life. That Project 2025 poses a threat to our very institutions. It wants to consolidate power within the executive branch. Donald Trump is basically running us towards a dictatorship, and the Supreme Court is backing him. So he has been melting down all day on Truth Social, like he does every single day. I mean, that's all he does. He sits there, watches Fox News, and just tweets. He said crooked Joe Biden's performance last night was dismal, and yet the other networks pretended he was the equivalent of the late great Winston Churchill. This guy can't even talk. Fake news. He can't even stop attacking his non-opponent. Joe Biden is not Donald Trump's opponent anymore, but Donald Trump can't stop attacking him because it's so reflexive. He can't find a way to attack VP Harris without being racist or sexist, so he's just going back to attacking Joe Biden. If those people rioting in Washington yesterday were Republicans/conservatives, they'd all be in jail right now facing 10 to 20 year sentences. Under this crooked administration, nothing will happen to them. Were the people protesting yesterday trying to disrupt the peaceful transfer of power, trying to subvert the will of the American people, trying to hang the vice president? I don't think so. What is this? Why didn't Gavin Newsom do this a long time ago? He's only doing it because, just like crooked Joe Biden, his radical left Democrat presidential candidate, lying Kamala Harris, is losing big in the polls. I just want to point out the difference between the way these two do their statements or press releases. This, even though it's a little bit funny, it still maintains an air of professionality, if that's a word. It's still professional, It's it's still coherent. Donald Trump has all of these nicknames and buzzwords that just undermine his credibility. Gavin New scum, crooked Joe Biden, radical left, lying Kamala Harris is losing big, slum-like condition. I mean, for someone that loves America, he keeps saying that it looks like the slums, that it is a hellhole, that it is a terrible country. Finally, here's a clip of Donald Trump being asked if he regrets choosing JD Vance. Make sure you leave a like and comment a blue heart on this video.
Mr. President, you know, it was just about a week ago that you selected JD Vance to be your running mate. Now we know that at that point you didn't know that Kamala Harris was going to be your main opponent, but now she is. And I'm sure you've seen there have been a couple of stories out that say they wonder whether or not you feel you made the right pick, given the fact you didn't realize you were going to be running against a woman who might now try to pick a running mate to deliver a key state or a demographic or anything like that. You're still 100% behind JD Vance, right?
He's fantastic. Yeah, no, it wouldn't have mattered. And I thought she was probably going to happen anyway, because I knew there was a palace coup going on, and I assumed that she'd be probably
not true. His campaign was totally blindsided when VP Harris stepped up.
Getting it. She had the advantage. So, yeah, it wouldn't matter. No, he's doing a fantastic job. He goes around. He's essentially for the worker. He's seen the worker be horribly abused.
Donald Trump doesn't sound that enthusiastic. I've heard Donald Trump sell things way harder. He said he's a good guy. He goes around. Watch how he drifts off at the end of the sentence. Donald Trump has sold things a lot harder.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't matter. No, he's doing a fantastic job. He goes around. He's essentially for the worker. He's seen the worker be horribly abused and taken advantage of, and he's for the worker. That's what his book is about. That's what.
Keep in mind, JD Vance went to Yale University, now rails against the same elite university that he built his entire career off of. JD Vance's entire career is built off of hypocrisy. He used to be a somewhat intelligent guy. I say this a lot, I tell the story a lot, but he used to have a transgender friend. He went and he gave cookies to that transgender friend after they got transgender surgery. He used to be a decent human being, but he sold his soul the second he put that MAGA cap on and the second he started vying for Donald Trump's attention. But I'm honestly really glad that we have a Democratic candidate that is able to take the gloves off and just hit Donald Trump super hard. I'm incredibly happy. That is what all left-leaning people in America have been yearning for a few years. Somebody who can just knock Donald Trump on his ass, and it seems like VP Harris is doing just that. Now, over the next few weeks, we might see some polls that don't look too great. We might see some polls that give us a lot of hope. We can't just go based off one poll. We got to wait for the trends to come out, and that is what we are going to do. We're so close. We're right there. Get ready to mobilize. Get ready to phone bank, to door knock, to canvass, to donate. All of these ways so our voice can be heard in democracy. Even debate, healthy debate, even watching YouTube videos, leaving a comment on the comment section, or joining my subreddit. We're doing a lot of mobilization over there. You can find all of that in the description. Either way, make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment a blue heart. Hit that subscribe button. Most importantly, have a great day.